Interesting question. What is the most important quality of a good counselor or rich counselor? Single most. One. Don't give theoretical answer. One. There are probably 10, 15, those who are done MSc, PhD, they know 100 or 120, all theoretical thing. Okay. One thing you talk. One. Whenever I will get a good answer, correct answer, I will say yes, good, correct answer. So you assume that none of this answer is correct. Okay, done. लिखो सोचो. Smile. You smile. If you smile, half of the clients will feel good and remaining half will feel good, 50% effect, right? You have a cheerful predisposition. Okay. Otherwise, listening is, I will tell you, there are two ways to listen. One is listening. Another is So listening, both is listening. But there is a poor counselor who listens like So there is a rich counselor who listens like, yeah, बोल दे यार, friend है, बात करेंगे. ठीक है. So be a friendly counselor, good counselor. Non-judgmental वगैरह तो सब रहता ही है, but we are human beings, we are going to judge and all those things. So we are going to do all those things. Okay. So in every chapter in book, you will see there is one or two statements you should say to the client so that your client will come back. In the psychology book written by me, every chapter is divided into 5 components. Number 1 is symptoms. You should know. When you read symptoms, you will feel that half the symptoms are in you. No problem. It happens with everyone. Remaining half, you know, where is it? Okay. So number 2, you will see medicines and side effects. Skip that. If you're not from medical background, you can skip medicine side effects. Side effects you should know because that is something you should tell the client. These are expected side effects of the psychiatrist medications and you should continue even with this because these side effects are less as compared to your condition. And slowly over the time, these side effects will become less. Number 3, how actual conversation between client and counselor takes place. Number 4, for each condition it is there, you should read and you should start conversing with the client in that language. Number 4, what are the common questions client will ask and what are the good answers you should give? Client will like you. Wow, good answer. Number 5, practical tips you should give to the client. 20 to 50 tips for each condition is there. So the client will like you. Okay. Just listening sometimes is not helpful. Many of the times client comes to you that they want to speak, open up their heart. That's good. But you should also give something to them. Right? And number 6, which is very important for earning is, what should you say? 1 line, 2 lines to the client, depending on the condition, that client will come back to you. It is mentioned in every chapter. You should highlight it. Okay? Because you want the client to come back. That's a rich counselor. If you see children nowadays, they have a lot of difficulties. Actually, parents have difficulties with children or children have difficulties with parents. That question is very fighting, debatable. We don't want to have a Mahabharata here. So we try to solve that. Whatever it is, so children are like temper tantrum, throwing things, arguing, fighting, not listening to parents, all those things. If it is happening with you, parenting is a problem. If it is happening with your clients, so you have to tell them what is a good parenting, right? And the correct parenting. So today we will take some examples and we will see what is a good reaction and what is a bad reaction. Okay. For or each scenarios. Okay. So now age group for children versus parents. So for even if parents, even if you are like 30 or 25, you are still a child for your parent. And you do all those stupid things, temper tantrum, arguing, fighting with your parents. Right? So, but if you are managing a child as a counselor or as a parent, or your clients as parents, they are managing their child, why child is not listening? There are two problems. One is the trust issue, and second is they believe that what you are going to say is all pravachan, all gyan. They don't want to listen. They want something in their own understanding language. They want a friend, right? And don't expect that your teenager child one day she will grow, I will become a good friend, and she will start listening to me. Hey, next. She's not listening. Okay, time is already gone. Since the childhood, you start developing a connection with the child. Play all the stupid games with the child wants to play. Child says, "Don't go to office." Don't go. Play with the child. If you are a corporate slave who comes home and still working, very bad. So you know what should you do then? Either you should leave the job or you should resign from your parenthood. So give time to your child. Spend with them. If the child does some mistake, falls some cup, breaks a glass, breaks a toy, burns a toast, right? Or creates some mess in the kitchen, don't scold, don't react. This is something your mother has done with you. And exactly you are doing with your child. Raise your hand if you are one of them. Not in the reaction button, in the camera. Even if your camera is on, off, I mean, you can do this. Yeah. So you do exactly what your mother has done with you. Very good. I like you because you are sincere. So when there is a problem, if you accept, yes, there is some error in my parenting style, I need to modify. That's a good start because I agree. You acknowledge that you are at zero and you want to grow now. Yeah, you will grow. So there are some people who are raising 2, 3 hands. Okay, so yeah. So I can understand they are beating and scolding their children. There are some basic principles. I will share one slide with you. Everyone read that. And then we will start the actual thing. We'll take some scenarios and positive and negative reactions of parenting. Everyone read this slide. ये कहाँ से आ गया? Slide has changed, I think. There are some who are reading like this. Smile when you are reading. Smile. So don't worry. You will not be punished the way you punish your child. Don't worry. Who is this girl who is holding a knife or a scissor in front of the camera? It's like, yeah. Huh. So these are the key points. Now we will apply this in our some reactions. Okay. Give me a second. You take some example. In recent, now, how should you start? When parents come to you for parent coaching, okay? So they will ideally come for, ma'am, child is not behaving good, right? They will say very big things, huh? This child is hopeless, child is gone, not listening to us, right? Or all those labels they will do. Sometimes teacher comes like that, okay? So you ask, what are the three examples last week? Now, each one of you have some trouble with either, you have seen either with your child or someone, okay? So a recent reaction, the child has either fallen something or could not do something, or child wanted to do some adventure either in kitchen or something, and you were like, hey, no, chal, okay? So you are now, will take that scenarios. Everyone, don't write one word in one chat, huh? Please write complete thing, then press the enter button, not in WhatsApp, in this chat. Give some scenarios. It can be your scenario, it can be your neighbor scenario, or it can be your relative's child scenario, or in your school, right? Write down. Yeah, this is very tough, huh? Child in 12th not studying. That's very tough. So Vaishali has given a good case, a common thing. We'll take that. Vishaka, you have mentioned a very good point, preaching. So today we'll try to learn that preaching and praise. Okay. Very good, Nitya. Good question, Aarti. We'll take this. So in this, I will take some of them. Okay. We'll try to understand what is a negative reaction and what is a positive reaction. So it is very common that you tell your child not to put wet clothes or towel on the bed. Child does that. Okay. So the child has learned from you or the father. So everyone is like, yes, yes, sir, child has learned from father, not me. Very good. Yeah, I understand that. So there are some fathers also, 2, 3 fathers at least. Don't do this. So the child has learned from the behavior. You need to tell the child. Now there are two things. One is negative reaction. So it will be like scolding. Hey, every time you are like this only, you don't remember what is this. You forget things. So you are labeling the child. Okay, you are scolding and not good. So the child is like, what? This is such a small thing. I have kept the wet towel on the bed. Mother could have lift herself, or she could have asked me to lift, and she is unnecessarily scolding me and spoiling my mood. What is this? She does not care for my mood. Next time I will not talk to her. So this is a negative reaction. So positive reaction is first by demonstration. So I tell you what is happening. Probable things. Either Someone at home, father or mother, is keeping the towel on the bed, either 1 minute or 1 hour. So the child is also keeping for 1 minute only, and then eventually forgets. You also keep for 1 minute, and then you remember to remove it. But the child is, there are some people who are laughing, so it means it's true. The child is also putting it for 1 minute only, then forgot to remove it. It's okay, natural. The child, it is child only, going to forget. You start by doing demo. So immediately when you put the towel, keep it on your shoulders only initially, and then directly go for drying it rather than 1 minute putting on chair or bed. Second, you tell the child why. What is the reason why you are preaching, right? Children nowadays, they don't like pravachan. They don't like to dictation. They don't like dictatorship. They will call you Hitler. क्या हिटलर मम्मी है यार ऐसे बोलते हैं. So they will label you something which is very bad for you. So don't do that. Then other children in the family will also start calling you that. So they don't like that order. They don't like that. They like a friend who will tell what should you do and why should you do. For them, why is very important. Rationality. Okay, they are like we were low IQ people. Nowadays, children have triple IQ than us. It's an evolution phase. So you have to tell them why, my dear, you have to do this. So you tell the child, if you keep the wet towel on the bed, there are two problems. One is this bed will get wet and this will develop fungus. This bed will get spoiled. Then this fungal will cause you skin allergy and acne. So if it is a teenager is very careful. Acne, no. Okay. They are not afraid of sleeping on the wet bed because they are like, I will sleep on the other side. No problem. So you tell them something what they are afraid. Then you say that number two problem is the wet towel. If you don't try, you go on Google. Come, we will do Google both together. What is the problem with the wet towel? If you don't dry your towel properly, then it will develop fungus, germs, bacteria. And next time when you clean your face with it, you may have some acne. You know, there are some teenagers who don't have acne, and there are some teenagers who are not of acne. Obviously, there are some reasons, but one of the strong reason is this. Okay, clean towel. She's like, then next time you put your towel on the bed, she will tell you, your teenager will tell you, Mama, it will cause you acne. Put your towel on the bed. Okay, 1 or 2 times you remove the towel, and every time you remove the towel, say, unnecessary, it will cause acne. This time I'm removing it, next time you remove it. You remember to remove it. So rather than saying, there are 2 segments. One is you remove it, order, preaching, bada gyan sikhane ko hai. Or second is you remember to remove it. Okay. So as soon as, instead of keeping it here, directly put it in the dry area. Now there are some logical complications, logistics. So if I put the towel, how will I, sometimes the drying area is other than the bedroom area and other things. How will I go out? What will I wear during that time? Right? It is natural. So give that solution also. Right? So tell them that before going for a bath, take out your dress so that when you come out from the bath, you can immediately wear the dress. After wearing the dress, you can hang your towel outside or drying area. Good idea? How many of you like that acne idea? Write in the chat. Write in the chat if you like it. So that is, you're talking in the language of the teenager. You know, teenager is like rebellious. If you try to preach something, teenager is going to preach you 1,000 things. And anything you preach, teenager is like, hey, karenga ch nahi, kuch bhi kar do, nahi karega. Right? So rebel nature. But they are very conscious of the looks. Yeah. Not studying, procrastinating. Okay, so there is a chapter in the book, or I will take one session separately. Laziness, procrastination, depression. Okay, so if you read time management, big, huge books, management books, they will say procrastination is about time management. It is not. Procrastination is about fear. Correct? If you are afraid to read something, if you are afraid to study, because the subject is difficult, or you have a fear of failure, or you don't know what to study, where to study, you need some help. That's why you're procrastinating it. So if the child is procrastinating for study, ask which subjects help is required. You help if you can, or do some tuitions or something, right? Or sometimes the children have so much burden, 90%, 96%. They're like, they're like, no, I cannot get 96. Forget it. So that is another pressure. Every child has their own capacity, right? Don't try to make everyone IIT. So have a realistic approach. There are more other qualifications also which can earn equal to IIT also. Sometimes more also. Sumati has raised one interesting question. Okay, my child complains, or my students complain they are asked to study all the time. Some children, they complain mother wakes up in the morning, mother asks to have a breakfast, mother asks to have a meal, mother asks to study, mother asks to stop playing. Why you need to do that? Because you are raised a irresponsible child. So what you have done since the childhood, you have corrupted the memory. Virus you have inserted. The name of this virus is irresponsibility. You have taken the responsibility as a mother or father that, oh my God, there is a school. I have to wake my child. No, I don't have a school. The child has a school. If he or she wants to go to the school, allow him to wake up. No problem. Miss the school. We will remove the maid. We will ask you to scrap. Okay, right? So if you don't want to go schools, that's good. We will save 2,000 rupees every month, right? So tell the child that why they need to go school, right? To get education, to meet friends, to make friends, all those things, right? And tell the child that I'm not going to wake you up. If you feel you want to wake up, you can put alarm. You can choose to wake up late and go without brushing your teeth also. No problem, right? You can go and spread your rosy bad breath, roseful, okay? And whatever you like, right? You can go without bath, with bath, up to you, right? As a mother, I can tell you that which is good. So good is rich student is someone who goes to school every day, finishes homework every day, does prayer in the morning or the evening, brushes teeth and have a bath before going school, has a breakfast, carries tiffin, finishes the tiffin, that is more important, finishes the tiffin before coming back. So you tell which is a rich student, which is a poor student. Okay. So if the child will miss schools, okay, 2 days, no problem. Okay. Third day, child has to wake up. The child will say you that, Mama, you wake me up. Then it is okay. You say, I will wake you up one time. Or we do one thing, we will put alarm. So when this alarm rings, you wake up on your own. Or I will attempt one time. If you say that, no, Mama, I don't want to go, I will not force you, my dear. I will leave this choice to you. Okay. So, why do you need to tell the child to study? So you tell, why should you study? Don't say that you study. No, you study because you want to become rich. You want to study. You don't want to scrub utensils. You want to become whatever you want. See, in my class, I had other students, those who did not study. They are vegetable vendors, lottery vendors, some small shop. Some of us studied. I studied most. So I'm one of the rich person in India. So you want to be rich or you want to be poor? Choice is yours. Now, if you need any help for studies, I'm always there. As a mother or father, I will help you. Right? Whichever subject you are comfortable, you take that subject. That will create a bonding. So most important thing for you is to create a bonding with the child. And number two is, if you cannot help, then put some tuition classes or something as per your comfort. Okay. So resolve the problem of the child. You don't need to force the child to study. Okay. Some students complain that they have to study all the time. No, you don't have to study. There are a lot of options, career options, starting from vegetable vendors to the top scientists. You can choose whatever you want. There are a lot of options, starting from 100 rupees per day earning to 1 lakh rupee per day earning. You can choose what you want. Okay. So tell them why they should do something. Okay. So how many of you from tomorrow, from tomorrow are going to stop waking up your child and give that responsibility to the child? If you are going to do that, raise your hand. If you are not going to do that, then there is a trust issue. You don't trust your child. Okay. Because when you were a child, your mother used to wake you up. Right diagnosis? So very easy. Anuradha Kumar has taken a easy and a common thing probably, right? A child doesn't want to cut the nails. So what is the age of the child, Anuradha? Yeah, is it common? I don't see at our home because, you know. So I tell you where it is coming from. There are two things. Why it is happening? Because the child is observing some didi, a maid, or probably mother or a teacher. Big nails, huge like monsters. And that monster nails are the fashion. Yeah. Okay. What kind of fashion is this? Right. So these monster nails, they carry amoeba, typhoid, bacteria, parasites, worms, eggs, seeds, everything. Right. And this is not a fashion. The fashion is this. You have your clean nails. Right. And if you have, are you having repeated infections? Do you feel that you cannot eat something which you really want to eat up to full, or you are having irritability in your stomach? These are the causes because of the nails. Okay. You can say sometimes very safely that this nails which she has following, okay, so they are not looking good, even if that person is thinking that they are looking good. Right? It is not a style. It is not a fashion. It is not helpful. There are some children, okay, they they are less competitive. Okay, education. Now everyone is talking about studies. Children don't want to study. I preach them how to study and all. Okay. So there are two types of children. One is less competitive. Okay. You cannot tell this child to have first try because there is a competition. They cannot cope up. You can tell this child why they should study because study is directly linked to your earnings, future comfort in the life. Okay. And what comfort you can give to yourself and your family. You can give your example. Whatever is, even if you're a failure, that is a good example. Even if you're successful, it's still a good example. You can give examples of other failures, other successes in your family or someone the child knows. Okay. Give an example of doctor uncle, your family doctor. That's the best example because they are the people who have studied really hard, right? And the child relates, right, with the doctor uncle or doctor auntie, whichever you have. The next problem is that there are some children who have their scores like this, like this, like this. And then one day they get a shock and they become sincere and they start studying. Okay. So you need to wait for these children to get a shock. This is a tough decision, especially if the child is in 10th or 12th. Any child who has not studied up to 9th standard, 8th or 9th sincerely, not scored 100%, 96% marks, is not going to score good marks in 10th. That is a law. It will never happen that child has not studied good in 8th and 9th and just focusing on 10th marks. Foolish. Will not score, average student. Because to score good marks, it's not only about studies. It's about your mental discipline. You have to make yourself set. Study 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours daily. You have to stop your distractions. Friends, girlfriends. Sometimes boyfriends. TV, relatives, parties, all the distractions you have to stop. So you have to inculcate those mental discipline in the 8th and 9th standard. And then this child is ready to score higher marks in 10th. And physical discipline to sit at one place and study. Now be very truthful, huh? Very truthful. Okay. You take your mobile, you watch your Facebook, Instagram, scroll all those things. You are on YouTube channel, and you tell your child stop watching your, or you are on WhatsApp, and you tell your child, hey, stop your camera or mobile. Are you that? Be truthful. Many of the parents do this. And they say, I'm doing my office work on WhatsApp. So child is also very smart. Child says, I'm also doing my school work on WhatsApp, now on the mobile, right? So if you do this, that is wrong. Now there are some sincere parents who are really busy after they come home. They are on phone, WhatsApp, or call either with their boss or with their patients. You must stop it from today, right? It is for your emotional well-being, own, plus your child's emotional well-being. I have a very clear protocol. I have 3 phones, personal phone, one for client and one for students. So I have given one time for clients. I tell them this time you can WhatsApp, this time you can call only with appointment and all those things. Other outside times, I remove that phone from my life. For students, I have the time 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. If you WhatsApp me 5:30 p.m., I ignore it. Right? Then I will reply next week. If you WhatsApp me before 5 p.m., I will reply today. Right? I will talk to you also. Then there is a personal phone which is limited to very less people. So that phone is on all the time. So you make this rule. Always have a personal phone separate and office phone separate. Either you are a practitioner or you are a corporate slave. If you are doing a job which requires you, your manager wants even the evening to do the PPT and to reply on WhatsApp and emails in the evening. So you leave that job. I have not done such kind of jobs anytime. I don't allow my employees also to do that. I always look for emotional well-being. That is the number one thing. Okay. When you want to spend time with your child, when you want a child to have a bond with you, child should listen to you. You need to give the time to the child. You need to remove this. You have no right to tell a child, preach a child to remove or reduce the mobile phone. And you are the one who is sticking on phone. Whatever is your reason, no one cares. Agree? If you agree, write in the chat, agree. Now you can write 2 things, agree and I will follow. Agree, but I will not follow. Not agree. You can write all the 3 things. Write down, whatever. It's okay. Agree, but I cannot follow. I don't want to follow. It's okay. You are a teenager. You want to rebel. It's okay. Okay. Anupreet case study we have kind of covered. Aarti Shankar, this is very good. Aarti. So some families, they have a culture or they have a rule that everyone will do prayer either in the morning or in the evening. So some families have a common prayer, some have individual prayer. Correct. So first is, are you doing it? Right? Instead of telling the child, you do it, so the child will observe you. Every evening, you sit and you do. Right? The child will observe you. Now there are two types of child. One is they have inclination for doing prayers. And the second child is they don't have inclination for all these things. Now the question is why they should do it. That is important, right? Rational. Why? That is the question. So why? When you do prayer at a particular time every day, either morning or evening, it helps you develop your discipline, mental discipline. Right? Number two, it helps you develop your willpower, emotional bank balance. It helps you develop your memory, your concentration. Because when you pray, the objective is not to repeat some mantras. Objective is to understand the mantra and get inculcated into that. Understand the meaning of mantra and involve your mind into that so that all other thoughts are removed and you're focused on the meaning of the mantra, whichever culture you belong to. Right? So tell the child this thing. And don't teach some mantras only. Teach your child what is the meaning of this. Right? There are three types of people. I will give example of Gayatri Mantra coming from that background. Okay. One is they don't know how to pronounce each words of Gayatri Mantra. Then there are parents who can pronounce, but they don't know the meaning. Useless. Child may not or may not follow you. Third, you know how to pronounce and you know the meaning of every word. Beautiful meaning. Today, go on internet, find what are the wordings actually. You may have learned from someone orally, half corruption. So find out what is actual wordings and find out what is the meaning of those words. And then tell your child at the bedtime. The meaning of the Gayatri Mantra is beautiful. Right? So it helps us to get enlightened. So whichever cultural background, religious background you come from, tell them your prayer and what is the meaning at the bedtime. Why bedtime? Because your conscious mind is relaxing now and you can enter into subconscious mind of the child and you can inculcate more values. Child will be more ready to follow. At the end, don't ask, will you now follow? The child will say no. Right? So the child will have to develop interest. Okay. On own. This is something you cannot force. So it's good that the child has been doing since long time in this case. And now child is finding it less. So solution is give the child some new prayer, new mantra, something that will attract more interest because it's boring now, old things. Child is looking either for the meaning or looking for some advanced things. Children, teenagers, they are looking for challenge. Why they want to rebel? Because they want to challenge. They want everything to challenge. They want to build muscles, mental muscles. They want to challenge you. So you give them some new challenge. Okay, I'm going to skip at the end now. Neha has given a very interesting case study. Okay. So a mother working earlier could not develop relation with the child and now the child does not listen. It is very going to happen. Okay. So either you are a father or a mother. If you don't have to have time for your child because you are a corporate slave working at home in the night and the evening, then you should either resign from the job or you should resign from the parenthood. Right? So you need to develop that relations with the child. You have to play that foolish games. If the child says, don't go office, take leave. If the child says, don't go your meeting, cancel the meeting. Right? Play with the child all those foolish games. Give value. Right? Give time to the child. And create bonding. Now, what are the ways to create bonding with a child? One of the ways is daily prayer and all those things if child is interested. One of the easiest ways to play all the games which child wants you to play as per the age group. Number two, involve the child in your daily work. Either depending on the age, if the child knows computer, give them some assignment. Tell them that this is my assignment. Can you help me or how to do it? I don't know how to do it. The child will like, mama doesn't know how to do. I will teach how to do. So it's like, yeah, I'm teaching her, like, very good. So they like it. So, but actually, by saying this, you are getting your work done. You are a smart mother. Good. Number three, you involve the child in folding of clothes, drying your clothes, or putting your clothes from the washing machine to the drying area, cutting vegetables, washing vegetables, helping you in cooking. That are the things makes bonding. Then you can do some craft, some painting together, all those things, right? Or learn some new things, new language, depending on the child's interest and your interest. Okay. Don't wait for the child to become a teenager and one day you will become the best friend. Don't talk such big things that I want to become best friend of my child and you are a corporate slave who is on your mobile, right? You cannot become. You don't have a capacity, right? So those who don't talk of becoming the best friend of your child, they are the one who are acting actually, right? They're taking steps. That is very strong, Neha. So that needs child counseling as well as parent counseling, both things. Your role is there then. Very good. So, Hina, that is very good. So, telling the child in early age your religious stories, Panchatantra stories, moral stories, sometimes your stories, sometimes your funny stories, your failures, your success. That helps the child to understand and link. Okay. So Shruti has said a wonderful thing that there are some parents who make the timetable for the child and tell the child to follow this timetable. A military hai kya? Okay. Are you either a military or your child is in a military? Right? Even those who are in military background, they don't do this here. Right? So ask the child, do you want to make the timetable? Should we make it together? Okay. Come, we'll make some timetable and have some flexibility. Like, don't give a flexibility like, okay, waking up this time, going school this time, coming back from school, evening prayers, evening food or snacks, evening study time start, dinner, night study time, watching time, time pass time. So there is a time for time pass dedicated. You have a time slot where are allowed to do time pass. In the time pass, you talk to your friend or you play or you watch TV or you do anything. After that, but this after this time pass, there has to be something before sleep. And what is that something? That something can be to relax your mind. Either it can be reading something, either your homework or stories, or just having a chit chat, talk with the father or mother, and actually preferring both. Or it can be some craft work or something. So to relax your mind, so the child has a good sleep, then sleep. So ask the child to make it. And they tell the child that it is very natural that you are going to deviate from this timetable. And when you deviate, try to next time match up. Okay. Don't punish. Okay. Today you are wake up 5 minutes late. Tomorrow you will wake up 5 minutes early. Yeah, they are like, बहुत प्रवचन हो गया. Okay. If they are bold, they will speak in front of you. If they are not bold, they will think in their mind. Okay. So don't be like, okay, today you are studied 30 minutes less. Tomorrow you will study 30 minutes more. Hey, where is 30 minutes more, yaar? There is 24 minutes na, every day. So there is no 30-minute more. So cannot do anything. Okay, missed. So now tomorrow you try to follow your schedule. Yeah, I understand. Any questions? Can you please write the question again? Because now it is buried in all the chat. So I will not be able to find it. So Divya, now it depends on the age of the child. Now question is that if the child is refusing the cutting of the nails instead of all the explanation convincing, what to do? Right? If the child is going to school, the teacher is going to scold. If the child is going to college, it will harm someone or the child, right? The child will learn on the own. Don't try to force. Give some freedom and flexibility. So there are certain things where you will not give freedom, right? Going out in the night and watching like binge TV or watching some porno or something. So there are certain things you are like very clear and strict, right? Then there are going to be certain things where you leave that decision to the child, you give the rationale, you leave that decision to the child. Then there are certain things where you leave that decision to the child without sometimes explaining also, assuming that the child will learn with experience. So, Lavina, in this case, you will need a child counselor's help for that. We will have some separate more session on the child probability study. Okay, we'll take it today only itself. Okay, seems interesting. Everyone is asking about the studies and all, probably because board exams are coming. So parents are also awake suddenly that there is a board exam. Wrong time to get awakened. So you should wake up in the 8th standard actually at least. So allow your child to play till 7th. Not studying, it's okay. From 8th onwards, be very serious on the studies. Okay. So uh, tell the child that remove the expectations from your side. Okay. So it is very important that child should not feel overburdened. Right. What is the complication in the talented children? The talented children, they expect from themselves. They expect that they should be doing the best. Okay. Just a second. So children are this talented children, they have three types of burdens. One is teacher. This is our star student going to bring the name and the fame to the school by becoming the topper in the board exam. Then parents. If you don't score good marks, not good. If you score good marks, good college. Then self. This talented student, they have the over expectation from the self. And that is actually sometimes more harmful. So you make a realistic expectation from the child. You ask the child, today we write down in your diary how much you want to score each subject. make a table. Okay, make a table. Column, 3 columns, right? 1, 2, 3. First column, you ask, write down your subjects. Second column, what is your present scoring or average scoring you are getting in all the class test and everything, percentage. And what is the score you expect in board exam or you target? Or you can ask what is the score you can expect in the board exam. And last will be what should be your target as per your dreams. Now child will say, I don't want to become doctor. I don't want to get 100 marks. Yes, don't force that child. No, doctor. Because you were a failure, you could not become a doctor. Right? So don't fulfill your dreams with the child. Bad. Right? You were not talented. You were not disciplined to study. And you are expecting your child to have the same discipline. Not going to happen. Right? So if the child wants to learn, the child will learn. Now you identified what is average scoring here and what is the expected scoring in the board exam. If there is a mismatch, you discuss that subject. What should you do? What should we do? Right? You do wrong. What should we do? As a mother, as a father, I'm ready to help you. If you are comfortable with those subjects, if you have time, you should have actually. So you should help the child. If you cannot, put some tuition or some help. Right? Some children are going to be weak in some subjects. So you have to tell them that you try to score up from other subjects. Right? Don't label the child learning disability because one subject is weak. Okay. So tell the child there is always way. You try whatever is possible for this subject, but you have to compensate other subjects through other subjects. Now, which is your strong subject? Then child will say, okay, this is my strong subject, maths and science. Very good. In maths, you can score 100 marks. Presently, you are scoring 96. So 4 marks again you can gain. So now every test, you and me will sit together after the test. We will try to find out which sum you have done wrong. And we will try to go back to those theories and understand that. Okay. Science, also you can score 100% marks. Languages, you cannot score 100% marks. Right? Same with history and geography. If you are good, you can score 100 marks. If you are not, then average. But at least you have to pass. So don't be like you fail in one subject and score 100 marks here. Right? So you rationalize, you make a plan. Like you make your financial plans for yourself. Or you make your planning for performance improvement in your job. Right? Same way, make a performance improvement plan for your child for studies. So select the subject which are strong, select the subject which are weak. If there is an improvement area, if there is a time available, you try to improvise. If not, try to compensate. What is the problem? Why the child is losing interest in the studies? The child has given hope. Parents are expecting 90%. I am scoring 75. What is this gap? Huh? This is a gap like a Himalaya Parvat. Will not occur. I'm not going to do anything. Give up. Right? Then you keep crying 90. The child keeps crying 80 is big thing. Okay. So you understand what is a child level. Not only intellectual level, but also the study level, background level. Right? Suddenly from 75, 90, not going to happen. 75 to 80 can happen with the efforts. Even if it happens with 75 to 80, it is still a success for you. Right? So 96 is a failure sometimes. Sometimes 50 is a success. You want to listen to the story? You want to hear the story? True story. I was in 12th standard. My younger brother was in 10th standard. Okay. And first 12th standard results come obviously, and then 10th. So one day my results came. I came from college that I told my parents I scored 96%. My parents are like, not good. Okay. I'm also like crying. Why did I miss my 1 mark in chemistry and 2 marks in biology and then some marks in English? I'm also like literally crying. Okay. 96 is a failure because objective is to become a doctor. So we need 99 or 100. Right. So then after few, we did not distribute. Obviously, I got to GMC Nagpur. Okay. Government Medical College, very high ranking. But it was not a success because score is 96. It was not expected from you. You know, you be a goof. So how did you miss your 1 mark? Okay, that is failure. So then after a few days, My younger brother, he came, he went to school, he came very jolly, running and everything. And he was like, Mummy, I got 50% marks. I passed with 50% marks. That is a success. So we bought 10 kg pedas and 10 kg sweets. We distributed to everyone because our younger son has got 50% passing score. Very good. That is a success. Right. So that was a target. So 35 was a target. He scored 50. A huge success, yeah, 15%. Right. So the child has this. So don't give your own target. Understand what is the level of the child and then give that target to the child. Right. And make a rational plan. Right. Not every child, because every neighbor's child, your relative's child is going for IIT. It's not necessary that you also send to Kota and IIT. Right. So what happens? Some children, they do suicide. Some children, they succumb and they don't do BSc also. Some children, somehow they go to IIT and then they have a mental breakdown. Not good. Right. What is the capacity? So what is your mental capacity? What is your study capacity? IQ level, your emotional strength, right? What is your discipline level? Everything has to match. Okay. IIT is not the only one thing. There are other things also in the world. So there are BCom people also who earn more than doctors. Do you know this? You want to know this story? I will tell you this story. Very interesting. All those doctors, including me, we are very poor people. Initially, during our first few years, doctors are very poor. Okay. Unless you belong to a doctor family, then obviously you are born rich. Yeah. Okay. So, doctor, you become doctor at the age of 24, right? You are still doing your internship. How much you get in internship? 1,600 rupees. Grand, 1,600 rupees per month. Okay. After that, you start your house officer job. House officer job in our days, 7,000 rupees. In our days means just few years back. In your old days, 100 years back, this was very less. Okay. So now probably 15,000, 16,000. Okay. Government job, if you take up as a medical officer, 24,000, 30,000 at the age of 25. But I will give you example of, this was a studio student. Okay. Every time 100% marks and went to the government medical college. Studious. Never had smoking, never had drinks, had no time for girlfriend, anything, but earning very less. Now compare this with BCom student. 50% 10th standard, 40% 12th standard, girlfriend, everything. All the fun, party, trips, everything. Did BCom 21 age, any BCom can start earning 10,000 per month. So that is more than 24 years of a doctor, right? Then this BCom 50% student does MBA from a good college, right? Suddenly he wants to earn more. Now he got motivated and he does MBA from a good college. Starting salary 8 lakhs per year. 60,000 more. By the time 23 years MBA, BCom MBA, 23 years, 60,000 per month salary. And this doctor, 24 years, 1,600 per month salary. Hey, what is this? What is this? Kaliyug, Gaur Kaliyug. Right? So it's not necessary to select something premium. Sometimes average is also good. Sometimes 50% is also best actually. One more thing I will tell you interesting. Okay. All those students who are first rankers, they earn less. Have you noticed? Either you are an engineer, IITian, or doctor, or MBA. Right? If you are first, you will finish last because you are a goody person. You don't know the reality of the market. Right? So in MBA, there are toppers, 90%, 96% MBA. My God, I don't know how these people get 96%. Okay. And they get a job. Okay. But there are others also who are good in other things, average in studies. They get higher salary. And if you see the trajectory after 10 years, both of them, this first rank is always playing safe because this student first rank cannot take risk. cannot take failures. She's always playing safe. And this so-called foolish fellow or so-called average student playing risks, changing jobs and earning higher money, right? So you should be average actually. All those people who say that I am average from today, write down. I am going to be average from today. So this your success will start there. I am average. I am also going to write. Wait. Very good. So I have always been average. If someone appreciates, I said thank you. But in my mind, I say I'm average actually. So from today, you are average. Okay, very good. So that is a start. Very good. Those who are already average, very good. So those who are average, there is a good scope to earn more. Yeah, there are some students, sometimes they score top marks in the 12th standard and, they become house husband or housewife sometimes. No use. Average is always good because expectation is less, right? And even if you score 5% more, hey, wow, very good, right? Even if you earn 10 lakh per year, still good, right? Capacity is the matter. Very good, Anupama. Before we end, should we take one more case study? Or should we take next time? So the next topic is anger. Next time or today? Anger by the parents on the child and child on the parents. Today? So, what was the case here? Dr. Poonam, अभी तो देख ही लेते हैं. Okay. So we are missing this case study. We will take it again. Okay. So if the child does not realize the importance of studying, one nephew failed in 2 exams, but in 3rd exam he just managed to pass the exam, but he didn't realize the importance of studying. When teacher asked that is he is happy with the exam, English. He was very casual that yes, he has done what? English, better than before. Grammar. The situation becomes very embarrassing for the parent, and the parents are doctors. How to guide the child? So you understand the importance of studying and start studying. It is very tough. In the US, they did a study. Children who are born in the middle class family, children who are born rich family, okay, they followed up these children. Okay. So this graph becomes like this when they follow. Okay. What is the meaning of this graph? Those who are born in the poor family, who had less resources, less affluence, they know how to fight. They know how to struggle. They know how to get something they don't have. They have learned the real life skills. This is India. Right? We are Indians. Right? We don't get everything we want. We learn to fight with our own, with society, with parents, and we get it what we want, right? We know how to struggle. These people, they earn more. Okay. So a child born in poverty, there is a 60% likelihood this child will become rich or upper middle class. A child born in a rich, affluent family, there is a 23% chance this child will become poor if parents do not give money. Right? In India, everything is ready-made. पूरी सत्ता रखी है ना? साहब आके बैठेंगे सत्ता पे गद्दी पे, ऐसा है. But in US, parents are like, hey, get out from our house, 18 years, start earning, do whatever you want. So this 23% rich children, they become poor by the time they become adults, right? Because they don't know how to get something, because everything is given, right? It is very difficult. Now, sometimes parents, when they are doctors, lawyers, CAs, they are so busy in their practice, they don't have time for the child to inculcate this value. Okay. And they see everything, the child says everything ready made. Okay, iPhone 12 is there. No problem. 14 has come, 12 in dustbin, 14 is there in the hand. Right. So all these things they get. So the child thinks that everything they are entitled for that. They will get it, whether they want, whether they struggle for it or not. And these children will always do bad, right? Such child, what can you do for that? You can scold, beat, preach, nothing is going to work. Okay. The time has gone. You need to find alternative mode, right? So the child, you are a doctor, you want your child to become doctor. Child doesn't want to become doctor. Already getting money equally what you are getting. Child also says, सब आपका ही हमारा ही तो है, ठीक है? Child doesn't want to put those efforts which you have put in your life, right? Because ready-made everything is there. To find an alternative path. So what is that alternative path? So make a realistic approach. Ask the child, what do you want? Child will talk some rubbish. Don't necessarily listen to that. So child will say, I want to be film artist. Hey, child will say something foolish things. Okay. So you say that for anything and everything, you have to study. You know, all these famous film artists, those who are successful, they have scored gold medal in Harvard and all the Stanford and everywhere in MA in film or MA in acting, right? And all those chapru, those who are not earning anything and just doing this film dancing at the background, no one knows them, right? So they are not studied. There you have to study, right? So you don't say that you become a doctor because we have the hospital pending there, right? Otherwise we'll have to throw it. So you make another plan. So it can be BCom, BBA, BSc or something. Then the child will, as the child grows, interacts and learns some stories, interacts with people, will find out what is the interest. It's a good idea to put the child, adult after 18 years, to put either after 16 years, you can put in your own company, if you are a company, for some work or some assignment. And if it is about 18 years, if you are comfortable, you can send some work or something like that, right? The child will understand what is the value of earning money. Okay. It's difficult, easy to say. Yeah. So start from your home. What you can do is you take some, what I have done, I will tell you. Okay. So to inculcate how to earn money. Okay. So my daughter's friend, I asked her to take a tuition. And for taking tuition, I pay 500 rupees per month. So she knows that 30 days she has to teach and then she will get 500 rupees. Right? She's earning 8 years. Huh? And my objective is, she's studying now for teaching this student, her friend, she's studying, she's preparing, right? And she's the number one in class. Both the objectives served. Correct. Good, Dr. Ritu. Yeah. YouTube, if someone wants to become a YouTuber, so you have to learn all those, you have to speak something, you have to do something which is different from others. You have to inculcate those knowledge, and then you have to learn all those softwares, video software, this software and that software, right? And then you need to understand how to promote that business. It's not that you will put on YouTube and that the lakhs of people will come. You need to learn that tactics also. For that, you have to do something, my dear. Okay. You cannot say that I'm 8th pass fail and then go and start YouTube and one day you will become famous personality. It doesn't happen with Michael Jackson also. He also started work very hard. Okay. Done? Question, answer. Everyone was like behind, sir, that question, that question. Okay. See, if someone is failing for 2-3 times, 10 standard, you know what is the scenario. You need to, now parents need to accept it. Parents don't need to educate the child. If you are a child counselor, parents are coming to you with the child. You say, no, the child doesn't need counseling. Actually, you need counseling for accepting this as your child, a failure child. Right? So you have made it a failure. Right? So first we talk. You accept this is going to be scenario. Not this, please. Okay. Then I will talk to the child. One day, I was doing this relationship test. Wednesdays, we have marriage counseling. NSCA marriage counseling course is the best in the industry. Even lawyers join this course. Why? Because you learn very systematic relationship test, 20 to 25 relationship tests to identify the problem in respect, trust, anger, stonewalling, criticism, compatibility, likelihood divorce. There are tests in the syllabus. Okay. Then to identify what is a couple problem. To solve the problem, there are 120 couple activities. So one day my daughter was observing how I conduct this class, the test. So each test has 20 questions. So my daughter made her own test for first session for the couple. So she's like, husband, actually she wrote Papa and Mama. Okay. And then she was like, I will ask these questions to you. Today I will be your marriage counselor. I said, wow, that's good. Good. And then she asked, what is the favorite color of the husband wife you have to take? Then what do you like in food, color, rose, fruits, everything? I like that. I like that. I asked her to do that session. I said, okay, you will do next session on Wednesday. She conducted. I paid her fees for that. So good. For developing this material, I paid her 3,000. That's a running for creative work. So Dr. Archana is asking a very difficult question. Okay, if someone is into drugs or porno and all, okay. So porno we are going to take. I'm doing still research on the topic, teenager porno and all. So to manage, we'll have something in few months. I will incorporate that in the book also, next edition. If someone is into the child, teenager or adult has fallen into drugs, so there is a 13 steps treatment program they need to follow. And you need to take very proper professional help, rehabilitation center. There is no shortcut for that, right? 13-step therapy has to be followed. And it may include very drastic measures, changing the city, changing the school, change the companies and all those things, right? Changing the phone number and all those things. Yeah. Mm. You want to continue or meet next time, or you're like sir maza aa raha hai sun ke, or you want to meet next time because your husband has already cooked your food and you want to go and eat. You're like, ऐसा भी होता है क्या? हमारे यहाँ तो होता है ऐसा. We'll see how many people are. Oh, still audience is there. Okay. Who is this 1571916? Please join with your name. You have 5 seconds. I will talk to your husband. Don't worry. I will counsel. So, okay, fine. Continue. We will continue for some more time. Those who are dinner is already ready, you can ask, eh, le kya idhar? Chal. Okay. Haan. So I received a direct message from one of my student. I know her. What is the case with her child? Okay. All those children who are there, I tell you one thing. You have two options. Either you are talented or you are average. No one cares. Doesn't matter. You are a first rank or a last rank. Doesn't matter. When you grow up, there are two things that is going to matter. One is, are you a good person? Do you have good values? Right? Good values means you can do something without hiding from your child and without hiding from your parents. It means you are doing correct thing. If you're doing something that you need to hide from your parents, it means you are doing something wrong. Very simple formula for values. There is no other definition for values. All other definitions are theoretical. Other thing is how much you earn when you grow up. So when you grow up, how much you earn, it is directly linked to your education. It is directly linked to how good you were a student. Either you were talented, you were average, you have low IQ, high IQ. No one cares. Right? We are living on the world. We are living on the earth. The society rewards our education system, our corporate system. It rewards what is your degree, which college you have done, how much you have scored, and how much knowledge you can apply on the job. Right? Otherwise, you are useless. Corporates throw you out. If you don't have qualification, they will not take you. If you have qualification but you cannot apply the knowledge, they will throw you like a dustbin. Right? So you want to be dustbin or you want to be rich? You can choose. You don't need parents to tell you this. You don't need a teacher to tell you this. You can choose. If you think your parents are not giving you something, you want iPhone, you want some toy, and your parents are not giving you something, you know what is the meaning? Because they cannot afford it. And why they cannot afford it? Because they did not study when they were child. Do you want to do the same thing with your children? If you want to give everything what you want for you to your child, study. Those who have the ring in their heart, they're like, yes, sir, there is a ring now I could hear in my heart. Write down, ring in the heart. You could hear the bell ringing in your heart after what I said. You agree to it? There is a click, right? When you hear something, no effect. But sometimes you hear something, there is a click, there's a ting. Oh my God, I need to do something on this, right? So if you had a ring, write down. So those who had click or the ring, write down. If you had nothing, you can write down that also. No problem. It depends on many things. Those who are not writing down the click or the ring, it means they had no effect. Nothing? No problem. So you are a stubborn child. We'll learn from the failures. Okay. And that is also good. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Everything. If you had a ring, good. If you don't have, good. Because it is your life. Nothing goes from my side. Yeah. Any other question anyone wants to ask, or any scenario? Presently, you had 1 week. Okay, just think of a last 1 week. If it is not there, don't ask them. You had some trouble with your own child. Dustin, can you please write your question? I really missed out in this all the chat. Now I will answer it. Can you please write your question again? We'll take this Dustin question and anyone else. So your scenarios. What we are learning, it is in the book of the child syllabus. Okay. Today. The principles. There are some examples also. I have read from there only. You know, in exam, very interesting thing happens. You have your cultural background. You have been risen with your own parents' parenting style. You are upbringing your children with your own parenting style. So in question, all those application-based questions will come in the exam for child. And then you write some answer from your own upbringing or your parenting style. That is wrong answer. Correct answer is whatever is given in the book is the correct answer, because that is a scientific answer that has been derived after research and studies. So in exam, you have to give that correct scientific answer, not from your own. Good, good, Aishwarya. You know, when you label a child that you are stubborn, you are angry child, that child will try to live with that expectations. The child will live with the label of being stubborn and will always be like a stubborn. Right? So the better is to say, child listens to me. Child understands the meaning. Child understands the explanation, rational. Okay. It creates some positive effect. Taslim's question, we take. A child 8 years old has suddenly stopped going to school. Her parents have tried everything, talking to her about her fear, everything, but she does not want to go to school. What could be done in this case? In this case, there are 2-3 approaches. Number one parent, whichever is close to the child. 3 approaches we will use. Okay. One is parent, second is teacher, and third is counselor. Very interesting case. So the one parent, whichever is closer to the child, will talk to the child. Which are the subjects? Which are your friends? Who teaches you in class? Which teacher you like? Which teacher you don't like? What she does? Okay. Then she will say, this boy teases me. This girl behaves bad with me. Someone is pulling her tiffin. Someone is pulling her pony or something. Right? You will understand what is the scenario. Or there is something else. Right? You try to understand. One. Number 2. And this thing you should do preferably at the bedtime without watching this and everything. Preferably while doing plays or doing some craft work or involving the child. So that attention, conscious mind is directed towards some activity. And when you discuss with the child just talking to you without being conscious. And don't be like, oh my God, why you must have done something wrong. Don't do like this. Okay. Listen only. Right? And understand. Child may speak one word. There may be 5 or 6 meanings behind that. Understand what is the meaning. Right? So child may say, I do not like maths, but she was good in maths. So you ask, what is the reason? Either she is getting overburdened or she is getting bored. Because she's so good in maths, this teacher is teaching her repeated things and she's getting bored. Right? Or teacher is scolding. Right? Or teacher is not asking question. Right? So you ask, what is the reason? Then a parent should meet to the teacher and explain them and ask what can be the probable things. What do you think? We are not here to judge. We are not here to complain. We are not here to fight. You tell us what do you think is the reason from your perspective. Our objective is to help the child again gain interest in the studies. We are not come for complaint. We are not here for fight. Either it is your mistake, other child mistake, our child mistake. That is not the objective. So that this there is a defending wall. So the teacher will remove the defending wall and will be able to talk to you freely. Now, after the teacher discloses something, don't react. Find a solution for that. Number 3, take the child to a child counselor. When you take the child to a child counselor, don't say, I'm going to take to a therapist and all those things. Okay. No. I'm going to take to your auntie and all. No. Say that I'm going to take to you some Didi, my friend. She's good in understanding children. Children wants to talk to her. I don't know what is the reason, but children talk to her. So your child will also play and talk. Right? And NSCA students, they have learned a tactic how to talk to the children. When you read the psychology book also, you will be able to understand that. When you read child book also, you will be able to understand that. Okay. So problem identification is the number 1 step. When you identify the problem, don't create a hype of it. Solve the problem. Give a realistic solution. Involve the child. If the problem is small, involve the child in the solution. And you have to solve, you have to help. Okay. Tell the child, whatever is the problem, we will find a solution. I am there with you and we love you. Even if it is your mistake, we love you. Even if it is your friend's mistake, we still love you. Okay. Sometimes simple bullying is there, right? So other children, they call some names, name calling is there. Or someone is pulling the pony or pulling the tiffin or the water bottle, all those things, right? So in this case, you will talk to the teacher and say, ki, you need to stop all this nonsense, right? And take care of all this bullying, right? If required, you can talk to the parents of the other children, right? If the child is good, bold, courageous, you can tell the child to fight one battle also. One day, my daughter came to me. She said, Papa, वो मेरे पीछे जो लड़का बैठता है ना, the boy who sits behind me, he pulls my pony. Okay. I said, next day, when he pulls your pony, tell him. So the child will tell to the boy, the girl child will tell to the boy. This is psychological warfare. Okay. We don't want to have a punch and all the fights, right? We don't want a child going to the teacher, oh, that boy pulled my pony. We don't want these foolish things, right? We want to equip the child to fight on battle. So I told her, go. Next day, you tell that child, do 2 tactics. One is eye contact with that child, with that boy, and just raise your finger. Don't do like this and all, just raise your finger. So that is also same age group child, right? So the child has seen now different thing. Earlier, this child was succumbing to this pulling of the pony, and now today, there is eye contact, strong eye contact. So the child of that age, the boy of that age will get afraid. Option 1. If it doesn't stop, level 2 psychological warfare. You tell the child, you tell that boy, your mother had called me one day and she told me, you do pee-pee in your bed. You like it? Right? Done. This next time, this child will go and fight with the mother. Why you called my classmate and told her that I do pee-pee? Correct? Next time, this will be afraid. Now let the mother come to me. She will say, why you said this? You teach your son how to respect a girl. You teach your son not to bully a girl. If he does that, my child is equipped to have a higher level fight. There is a fight called here, mental fight. Right? She will not go to teacher. I will not go and talk to you, but she will fight with your son. And your son will be having low confidence throughout his life. Teach your son that how to behave. I will teach my son, respect girls. Okay, teach him from this age. Right? Don't come and fight with me that your daughter has said this. Right? She is going to say third level degree also. If your son continues, that will be very dreadful. Those who liked it can say liked it. Those who did not like it can say not liked it. No problem. Everyone has their own freedom. So typically those mothers who have the son and who is pulling the pony will say, no, sir, not liked it. So you should tell your son to behave. Okay. Those who have girl child and those who suffer through that, or those who already have gone through that through their school, they will say like it. There were three options. One is I go and fight the battle for the daughter. Third option, the child goes to the teacher, take the bottle to the teacher. Second. Third option, end the battle. Permanent. So you enjoyed? Okay. Entertaining, fun-filled, enjoyed, learned, will apply, agree, average. Okay. Will read. So we'll learn more. Okay. Wednesday, we will meet for marriage counseling session. Sunday is psychotherapy. Thursday is child assessment. So assessment from different age groups. Obviously, those who have taken which course, they will attend as per that. So there are overlapping students. There are some students, some professionals who learn child, marriage, psychotherapy all together. Then there are some like Sarita and Darshana, they learn child, marriage, psychotherapy, and child assessment all together, right? Because they want to earn faster, they want to earn more. So that's why they're learning more things in the shorter time. So be in touch. If you want to talk to me, irrespective of your mentor, even if you have other mentor, you can talk to me from 1 to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., do not WhatsApp. Okay. Before 5 p.m. on weekdays, Saturday, Sunday, do. Okay. So Monday to Friday, 1 to 5 p.m. You WhatsApp, I will give time, talk to me. Because I'm sometimes in the middle of a session or I'm on another call. I'm taking some client or maybe on another call with someone else. Okay. Enjoy. Be in touch every week. Right. All the students are allowed to talk to me. No reason, no problem. Irrespective of your mentor. You should be in touch with your own mentor. If I'm your mentor, then you are already in touch. Thank you. Have a great time. See you.